complete. Busch Beer giving back by sending 500 loyal fans to the biggest race of the year. These 500 Busch fans getting a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Yesterday's meet and greet with Kevin Harvick, a hangout at the Busch Bar, and a fan takeover of Busch's Instagram story. It's Daytona done right. Harvick running 7th right now behind Brian Blaney, Paul Menard, Alex Bowman, Brad Keselowski, and Eric Almirola. Clint Boyer, his teammate alongside in the 14.
Mike, I think there's some guys driving a pretty smart race right now, and Keselowski is one of them. He's kind of biding his time.
Third-generation racer Ryan Blaney. His dad, Dave, the Buckeye Bullet, World of Outlaws champion and a Sprint Cup driver. Granddad Lou, a sprint car ace. It runs in the family.
Well, remember when Montoya hit the jet dryer, who was leading the race? We didn't think we were going to get back. We didn't think we were going to go back to racing.
Dave Blaney.
Dave Blaney.
I raced with Dave in the sprint car days, and incredibly talented. That whole family just has so much talent, whether it's racing, basketball, a lot of athleticism.
Ryan's uncle Dale, another great sprint car racer. Let's get an update on Team Penske, beginning with Vince.
Well, and Ryan Blaney, they have been so confident. You visiting with Ryan before the race and his crew chief and engineer, they were very relaxed. And he said they've had a fast and strong car. It was as fast in the Clash. He won his duel. They have that confidence, and they know that they have a car capable of winning if they can just stay up at the front and have a shot at the end. They've made just one slight air pressure adjustment on the 12 so far. Matt?
At Daytona and Talladega in 2018, drivers have access to the track bar adjuster, and that's exactly what used to try to work his balance more to the tight side. The car's been loose most of the day. The other adjustment was with tape, not for cooling, trying to keep the splitter together. It was starting to separate. Used several pieces of tape on the nose of that too.
Brad Keselowski entered the race an 8-1 favorite.
Well, that was tight off turn 4. That 96 car was right down on the bottom. I thought that Bowman was going to have a problem, but they worked their way by him.
When we've had 8 different winners in the last 8 years of the Daytona 500, hard to pick a favorite. I think Matt brought up a really good point about the track bar. This is the first time at Daytona that just from inside, that's typically saved for short tracks and you know, the mile and a half. That's going to be a really important tool for these drivers today.
Four Fords in the high group. Alex Bowman Chevrolet leading the inside line.
Our pole sitter, he's hanging right in there, doing a nice job, minding his manners, not taking a lot of chances. Like the way he's thinking.
This is what I like about having young drivers mixed in with these veterans. Those young guys are not content. They're not patient. They want to lead, just like Ryan Blaney is right now. Alex Bowman, he wants to lead. Typically, at this point in the race, we'd see them starting to try to get single file, get content. Let's ride it out. It's 500 miles. Not today. There's a lot of action.
You just think about the 88. He's got Dale Jr. sitting down on that pit box. You think Dale Jr. is not talking to him? The old Pied Piper is probably giving him some pretty good instructions.
That's right. Fourth back on the outside, another one of those Fords. That one is the Roush Ford of Trevor Bayne, that black number 6. Here's Regan.
2011 Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bayne has been working his way forward all day long, guys, but it didn't come without a little bit of frustration. Bubba Wallace in his mirror just a few laps ago tried to make a move and put him 3 wide. He had to block it so he could buy his teammate. He got a little mad on the radio after that.
I'm going to do that, but I had to block Darryl from doing it. Trying to direct teammate. Tell him I had to block the 43. He's being crazy. Let's turn me twice in one straightaway. Simple. The race, do you think?
So the spotter has to be air traffic control, although planes have to stay 1,000 feet apart from each other, not a couple of inches, and psychologist all at once.
Yeah, well, you know what I always say, Mike? Pick your fights. I mean, did that really make a lot of difference right now? Don't lose your cool. Don't lose your focus. Stay in the game. That was a minor little incident. Let it go.
Yeah, but to Trevor Bayne, it was a minor. He thought he was going to wreck with that move, and that's where your frustration can get the best of you if you allow that moment to take over.
Look who's right back in the mix, Denny Hamlin. Up into the top 15, right in the middle of that lead draft after being a lap down earlier, Jamie.
And that shows just how good his car is. It has been all week long, Mike. So good, in fact, that he skipped the final 2 practice sessions this weekend. They just put a cover over it and called it a today. So far today, though, the balance has been great. They haven't had to adjust on it, just overcoming that early penalty, but he's back on the lead lap, and he's working toward the top 10.
Yeah, one thing I like about these teams, like with Wheels, they call him as crew chief, never give up. You're not out of this thing. Work on it, fix it, we'll get you back in the race. Don't ever give up.
83 laps complete. There's Mike Wheeler, Denny's crew chief, as he has rebounded nicely.
This NASCAR on TSN Access Update is presented by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
With over 50 years of racing success, the legendary Chevrolet Camaro is poised to make its mark on NASCAR's biggest stage. And in 2018, Chevrolet is bringing that pedigree of winning to Canada. For the first time, the Chevrolet Camaro will hit the track in the
Aí,
NASCAR
agora
Pinty
sim,
Series.
podemos falar. Mick estava desligado, não sabia
Championship
esqueci que estava desligado.
Chevrolet
E não
leads
pega
the way with
nada.
775 Monster
Que eu ia
Energy
falar.
NASCAR Cup Series wins, the most all
Agora o
time.
Fantasy dá para trocar os pilotos. Já acabei já tirando o Jimmy Johnson.
Chevrolet's 39 manufacturers titles and
Tá,
42
que
drivers
está
titles are
garantido
also
fora
the
da
best in
prova já.
NASCAR's top
O
series.
Kyle Busch ainda está 3 voltas atrás, ainda está na pista, então eu deixei
Chevrolet has
ele lá.
also powered some of
No hotel.
NASCAR's greatest legends to historic
Troquei o Jimmy
championships.
Johnson pelo Harvick. Aqui, deixa eu mostrar.
Now, looking to build on that foundation of
Trocar
glory,
de
the
cena.
2018 Camaro is ready to take the track across
cena
Canada.
aqui,
With
ó,
a sleek new
já
look
tem
and
até,
body design,
mais
the
ou
new
menos.
Chevrolet Camaro is refined and ready to perform.
Só deixa eu
Sharing an
abrir mais.
on-track look across all of NASCAR's best series, the new Chevrolet Camaro is ready to win in 2018.
Esse aqui, os meus
This
pilotos,
NASCAR on TSN
ao menos
Access
no,
Update was
no
presented
time que eu
by
botei, os
Chevrolet.
principais.
Find new roads.
Botei o Denny Hamlin, enfim, queria colocar um dos pilotos que nunca sabe. NASCAR é imprevisível. Quem vai ganhar, eu nunca vou acertar, eu acho. Mas botei os 4, 5 que estavam com mais chances de vencer pela história em Super Speedways e na NASCAR. E já tive que tirar o Jimmy Johnson. Os outros 5 ainda estão na pista, o Kyle Busch 3 voltas atrás. E aqui o Final Fantasy agora, esse Final Fantasy, o Fantasy Picks, tem um negócio que você pode usar cada piloto 10 vezes durante o ano. Então o outro time eu peguei só os pilotos que vão bem em Super Speed e normalmente não vão bem em outras corridas, com exceção do Chase Elliott, basicamente. O Alex Bowman também deve ir relativamente bem, enfim. Necessariamente em Super Speed eles devem estar indo bem e pior nas outras. Então tem o Blaney, o Menard, Almirola, Chase Elliott, Rick Stenhouse. Eu tava com o Ryan Blaney na reserva, mas já troquei, pois ele é o que está fazendo mais pontos agora, está em primeiro lugar. E a pace está muito forte hoje. E daí, por isso, esses são os meus 6 e até agora os 6 ainda estão na pista. Tá, volta para a corrida. Realmente saíram do comercial. Fala aí quais foram os 5 pilotos que você pegou e mais o de reserva. E como é que eles estão agora?
And Kyle Busch still seeking that first ever Daytona 500 win, although he's been a champ in NASCAR, trying to save his car, then has a tire problem and ends up damaging his car.
Também deixa eu aproveitar ver se o outro stream não voltou. Sim, voltou. Então troca aqui. O chat só. Deixa nesse aqui que não tem comercial. Eu só não sei se ele tá ao vivo. É, tá sim. É, o áudio é daqui. Estava tão sincronizado com o outro que parecia que era. Ainda estava no áudio do stream anterior. Mas aqui é o feed europeu. E daí, às vezes, quando estão mostrando pilotos, os gráficos não aparece aqui. Mas a vantagem maior, disparada, é que não tem comercial.
Chance to win Daytona, I'll be watching closely.
Daytona 500 favorite Brad Keselowski running
1080p, 60 quadros por
segundo.
segundo.
Top 10 spots. Let's rejoin Daryl, Jeff, and Mike.
Thanks, Chris. Ryan Blaney in his first
Ryan Blaney liderando, Menard em segundo. Os carros relativamente comportados durante a corrida. A única disputa maior foi perto do final do estágio, mas já teve outros momentos que parecia que ia dar acidente também durante a prova. Mas a agressividade foi muito maior nas últimas voltas do primeiro estágio. Deve ser a mesma coisa no final desse aqui. Agora estamos recém na metade do segundo estágio, volta a 30 de 60 do segundo estágio.
Yeah, you know, DW, you talk about those Fords, and we saw last year on the restrictor plate racetracks, their package of the downforce, the drag, and the horsepower just seems to suit these tracks so well.
90 laps complete, 30 to go in this stage. How about a good old Fox NASCAR Daytona 500? Crank it up.
Sobe o som.
Still middle 78, you're clear low 78 middle behind you. He's still middle.
E travou. Não. Eu já não estou mais ao vivo, mas é bom dar uma margem de buffer. Daí as travadas são menores. E problemas com 24 no William Byron. Seguimos em bandeira verde por enquanto. Mas do jeito que estourou o pneu ali, provavelmente deixou algum pedaço na pista. Assim que os fiscais verem que tem esse pedaço, eles vão acionar a amarela. Sorte dele que ele já estava próximo do muro. Provavelmente ele raspou no muro por reação do Bubba Wallace. E daí depois disso estourou o pneu. Mas deve estar largando um pedaço do carro aí na pista. Tem uma boa chance de ter amarelo.
Caution for debris on the back straightaway that came off William Byron's car. It comes at lap 93.
O problema dele parece mais grave. Vamos ver. Às vezes quando estoura pneu, arrasta a roda e estraga o rolamento, a suspensão. Mas ela ainda está girando bem. Não deixa a pole toda. Só tem que cuidar para a lataria não ficar raspando no novo pneu.
They will pit this caution here. But a lot of those drivers, which would start with Chase Elliott, that pitted on lap 64, they were going to go to be between 110 and 115. These cautions right here, if you're thinking about winning stage 2 and stage points, you can get there without stopping. I think we'll see another possible mixed bag.
Quem quiser ganhar o estágio 2, talvez fique na pista, economizando gasolina, que talvez consiga chegar até o final do estágio sem parar. Mas vai ser no limite. Os outros podem parar para reabastecer.
Even risk a 4-tire stop under these new rules.
Mike, I think if you're not worried about winning stage 2, you pit and you want 4 fresh Goodyear tires, because we've had a long green flag run here. And Jeff, I think what's going on with locking the front tires up, the front splitter's going down and hitting the pit road, making the front tires light, and it's sliding the front tires.
Oh, good point.
Pit road's open, Vince.
The 12 of Ryan Blaney comes in. It's going to be left sides only for Blaney, who pitted from the lead. Jamie?
Menard driving for the Wood brothers this year says he's a little free on entry. The car has been really good. They work on the left side, Matt.
Keselowski and Harvick, third and fourth, both saying their cars are on the free side.
Both tá bravo. Daqui a pouco a gente fala aí.
Helped with Harvick as much as it's helped the two of Keselowski.
Ryan Blaney vai voltando em primeiro.
led by Ryan Blaney. All right, who is NASCAR's king of stage wins?
Ryan.
Mark Truex
O
Jr.
rei das vitórias de estágio.
Who's our new leader?
Oh, maybe.
Oh, not Truex.
Quem é o rei das vitórias de estágio? Ryan Truex. Quem é que é o novo líder? Ryan Truex. Não. Martin Truex. Martin Truex ficou na pista. Vamos ver se ficar na pista com pneus um pouco mais velho vai dar para se manter na frente. Tô vendo o Logano ali também, mas o Logano estava uma volta atrás. Acho que ele estava brigando pelo Lucky Dog. Ryan Blaney está muito bem. Teve uma ótima participação ano passado. Deixa eu parar de assistir a minha prova de transição para não dropar tantos frames. Eu acho que isso está atrapalhando. Também baixar aqui o tempo. Bota no primeiro ao vivo. Tentar pegar. Acho que não é bom 60 quadros. Vamos ficar em 480 por enquanto. Tá, deixa assim, daí bota no automático. Vamos ver. Essa internet ela fica boa, muito boa, exceto quando não. Sair aqui do meu chat do Discord. Aí também eu tô com duas janelas do Fantasy, mais o meu painel ao vivo, mais a tabela da NASCAR. Todos esses 4 estão atualizando em tempo real, a cada de tanto em tanto. Não, o automático ele quer subir para 1080p, poxa. Não, desce aqui. Agora travou para valer. Dá uma atualizada geral. Do chat, se inscrever. Tela inteira. Deixa 480. Tá bom que não tem comercial. O Fantasy e os outros que estão atualizando, acho que não deve ser problema, pois não devem puxar tanta internet assim. Me pergunto aqui, eu tô curioso para ver aqui dessa minha equipe do NASCAR, desses 6 pilotos, qual que eu devo deixar de fora na garagem até o final do segundo estágio? Só se der um big one agora. Os 6 ainda estão na pista e são bons candidatos a dar pontos. Volta aqui.
Is out front. He did not pit under this caution flag. Let's take a look at today's Driving Trust presented by Midas.
Mike, this is the little team
that Almirola, mas o Almirola é o que mais corre com a cabeça, ele costuma chegar entre os 5 primeiros em quase todas as corridas de Super Speedway. Ele está comendo só pelas beiradas.
But I love that right there. The last 60 races, 12 wins. The next closest team, 6 wins. Doubled the wins of the next closest team. But Vince Welch, they're not interested in winning stages.
Por enquanto acho que eu vou deixar o Alex Bowman de fora, que é o mais novato, e novato sempre sofre, principalmente nas 500 milhas, com esse carro que está escorregadio.
Her battle with cancer. Crew Chief Cole Pern lost his best friend Jacob Damon, who passed away unexpectedly. And a team member, Jim Watson, had a heart attack and died on one of the race trips. Team owner Barney Visser suffered a heart attack and missed the team's championship clinching night in Miami. All these challenges brought the team together, made them stronger. Yeah, made the championship sweeter, but as Cole Pern told me today, the championship was great, but no victory was worth the losses they suffered in 2017.
Thanks, Vince. Great to see Barney Visser back at the racetrack and healthy here in Daytona. He's created himself quite a race team and has a championship to show for it. There's the Toyota Camry XSE pace car. Those big letters right behind our camera say
Vamos para a relargada.
That's where those Camrys are built.
Oh, I thought they were celebrating the Wildcats.
What's going to get interesting here, he has 30 more laps on his tires than all those that have pitted around him. We're going to find out just how good that team is.
Kyle Larson has served a penalty on this stop for too many men over the wall. He'll start out back and be the 28th car on the lead lap as we come back to green.
28º carro na auto líder.
Sellout crowd
Vamos ver
watches
quem
as
que ele
they
tá falando.
address themselves to the green flag. Back underway in Daytona.
Kyle Larson deve ser. Está envolvido naquela batida. Volta para a volta do líder.
One back. Looks like the top line's going to have more cars. Now come down, come down. Come down there. There you go. Now back up, back up. There you go.
That's Clayton Hughes, Truex's spotter in the
Still in
lead.
line with you now. He's looking high, looking low. Looking low, looking low. Right there inside. Inside. He didn't. Nobody went with him there.
One common theme we've seen this week is Ryan Blaney only wants to lead.
I knew they got that 78 car run a little bit better. I know they got a little speed in it, but not a match for that 12 car. Blaney is out front. Tell you a guy that's worked his way in the picture here pretty nice, that 9 car. Chase Elliott. I think the longer the runs are, Mike, the better. He just has a good handling car, and you really see it as we get near the end of a long run.
Ryan Blaney out in front. Huge Star Wars fan. Described himself on social media as an aspiring Jedi.
Ryan Blaney, fã de Star Wars, se
Se
descreveu na mídia social como um Jedi aspirante. Um discípulo de Jedi. Ok.
Kevin Harvick coming up the inside.
Ao menos pontos a favor do Ryan Blaney,
Push
então.
from the 78 Martin Truex to the rear bumper of Chase Elliott. Chase doesn't need any more pushes. Look at the rear bumper on that car. Somebody has almost beat it completely off the race car.
To get the back of these things any lower, they'll be hitting them in a spoiler.
Tá bem acompanhando o Ryan Blaney ali com Keselowski, companheiro dele logo atrás.
Blaney and Keselowski. Now Harvick has Trevor Bayne.
Logan na posição do Lucky Dog.
Right behind him.
Por enquanto, tem uma disputa um pouco forte ali, pois junto com ele está o Jamie McMurray, que também vai bem em Super Speedways, além do 24 do Byron, que não deve estar mais 100%.
Yeah, both of the 6 and 17 cars, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Trevor Bayne,
E com o Truex ficando na pista, sem chance para fazer wave around ali pro Kyle Busch, que está 3 voltas atrás e está precisando de wave around se quiser recuperar alguma coisa.
Maybe only go with right sides, because we know right now in 20 laps there's going to be a caution, and you're going to need to pit under that caution for fuel. So I think that's probably the biggest thing they're setting up for.
Quase todo mundo vai ter que parar para botar gasolina no final do segundo estágio. Então o pessoal já está se preparando. Quem está com o tanque semi-cheio vai trocar só 2 pneus.
Ryan Blaney came up to the top lane to cover the spot and prevent Chase Elliott's number 9 from advancing. Big push coming from Elliott and Keselowski.
Olha, cuidado do bloqueio! E Chase Elliott no muro.
Are you kidding me?
Danica Patrick, Casey Kane.
Oh man, oh man.
You all right?
Danica Patrick. E o Keselowski também parece que pegou algum dano. Vamos ver se ele está com o carro inteiro para continuar.
And Kevin Harvick.
É, acho que eu já tenho um piloto que eu vou tirar do meu plantel ali. Kevin Harvick. Olha o dano do Keselowski. Ainda tem chance de continuar, mas não vai ser a mesma coisa, hein? Vai ter que ficar no vácuo até agora. E apenas 18 voltas ainda. Ainda tinha 18 voltas no final do estágio. É aquele negócio, né? Os carros estão instáveis. E ainda querem bloquear como faziam antes, termina nisso aí. O novo spoiler um pouco maior está fazendo quem vem atrás ganhar uma vantagem muito grande quando cai rápido. E o Harvick lá na frente parecia que ele ia estar tranquilo, hein? Truex passou por pouco também. Ah, o Keselowski rodou ainda depois. E daí pegou o Harvick, parece. É, agora vai pegar o Harvick. Devia ter ficado por baixo. Parecia que Keselowski já tinha salvado o carro, mas ele ainda voltou. Bom trabalho. Bom trabalho, o spotter bem nervoso ali.
Ryan Newman led about a dozen of them down pit road, Matt.
A lot of debris on the racetrack. Alex Bowman on pit road. He got doored on both sides of the race car earlier, but they didn't really see any kind of damage. He was concerned about that. Jackman, Dustin Lineback, a little bit of a trip there coming around to the left side. He signals, we're good to go.
Right rear damage to Kevin Harvick. The sheet metal disconnected from the chassis there, and Clint Boyer, they're going under the hood on his Ford. Chase Elliott gets turned around and around, and it's mayhem. Turn 3.
Eita, bem em cima do microfone. E adeus para Danica Patrick. Ainda deve dar uma entrevista aí, com certeza. Emocionante, provavelmente, ou menos ou emotiva. Ela deve estar falar ali. Vamos ver. Danica andou 101 voltas aqui. Se ela andar 99 em Indianápolis, vai fazer 500 milhas no total no ano. Exatamente no meio da prova, abandonando. Estamos recém na metade da corrida, pessoal. Imagina o que vai ser no estágio final, se agora já está assim.
Monster brought the action. Casey Curry hit the pavement and showed off in his Baja Trophy truck for the fans. Monster Smoke Show. Well, it's been quite a show here on Daytona International Speedway. Now, Ryan Blaney had a great view of that in his mirror and had a little question afterwards.
Bem-vindo pelo espelho.
I didn't block that much. I just kind of changed maybe one lane, but I don't know. I think the 9 was pretty aggressive. They were trying to get down and make a move when he could have just been a little more patient for a while.
I totally agree.
Now, we've seen where blocking has played a role in some of these incidences. And then 1 and 2, Ryan put a pretty big block. But as they got down to turn 3, I look more at the momentum the 9 had and the 2 had. And that last move, as Chase Elliott sees the 2 is going to go to the inside of him. And that, to me, is what got him turned around. Hard to see from that angle.
I just think Keselowski went up there and he got that good push. He got the push from this. I think the 78 was behind him.
Eu quero ver o onboard do Martin Truex. Quero ver o onboard do Truex.
Yeah, the 2 starts to make a move. The 9 reacts. They make contact.
It's on from there.
Both of them around.
I know where that lucky horseshoe is that Kevin Harvick used to have. It's riding in Trevor Bayne's fire suit. He narrowly misses another one. Here are the cars that were involved.
Preto Keselowski bate e deixa muita gente órfã de um dos pilotos nos fantasies e campeonatos de palpites que tem por aí. Chase Elliott, Danica Patrick, Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, David Reagan e Casey Kane envolvidos na batida. Chase Elliott oficialmente fora da corrida. Nem todo mundo parou nessa última parada, nessa última rodada de pitstops. Vamos ver daqui a pouco quantos carros ainda tem na volta do líder e como é que estão os que bateram.
Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series garage.
Já tem muito carro na garagem.
Released from the Care Center. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Those who live up to their names make one for themselves. Goodyear, more driven.
Kyle Busch agora 4 voltas no líder. Não, mas acho que é o score que nós não atualizou direito aqui. Pode ser, que ele tenha aproveitado a amarela para fazer um reparo maior. Vamos ver.
Fox Sports supports, proud to team up with Ticket to Dream in their mission to help foster kids just be kids by creating access and opportunities that allow them to discover their strengths and passion through sports and extracurricular activities. Together, creating hope for foster kids of all ages. Visit foxsportsupports.com to learn more. 107 laps complete under caution. Jamie.
And Danica Patrick has been checked to release. And certainly not the way you wanted to finish out your NASCAR career. What was it like the first half of the race for you?
Pretty decent. The car was a lot better than it was in the duel. It was a lot better in practice. So Tony Urey Jr., my crew chief, did an awesome job. The guys on the whole team did a really good job. I know we pulled this together kind of, not that long ago, a month ago, and that's a tall order to get a car ready for a super speedway that's competitive, but it was. And so I said earlier today that I feel like the whole thing was picture perfect with GoDaddy on the car and it being that green again, but it just wasn't meant to be, I guess, today. But I am proud that we raced the whole race. Other than a little bit at the end of that first stage when it just looked silly with all the cars with no tires and tires. Other than that, we raced it, and it was competitive. So that's all you can do. I mean, that's the gamble about Daytona, is it can go so well and it can go so awful. So I'm grateful for everything. Thank you to all the fans, and yeah, still got one more. It's not a stock car, but still got one more.
We're thankful for Danica. Mike?
Agradecer aos fãs, todo mundo. Ainda tem mais uma, não é Stock Car, mas ainda tem mais uma para fazer.
Yeah, driving for Ed Carpenter. That should be a fast car.
Piloto feminina mais bem sucedida da história da NASCAR. O carro estava bom, ela falou, e sabe que é um esforço muito grande para fazer algo desse tipo em apenas um mês, mas eles conseguiram fazer um ótimo trabalho e tinha um carro competitivo. Estava agradecendo a equipe. Estava indo bem até a hora da batida. A primeira parte da corrida estava indo bem. Mas Daytona é assim. Às vezes você vai muito bem, às vezes você vai muito mal. Foi mais ou menos o que ela disse. Relargada com 12 voltas para o final do estágio. Já tem final do estágio, segura aí que agora pode ter um acidente ainda mais forte. Com 30 voltas para o final já deu batida, imagina agora.
Well, I don't know. They've had an opportunity to take it easy, DW. I mean, every time they get single file for a lap, somebody makes it too wide, trying to make a move to get the lead or get that position.
Of the cars involved in that crash, David Reagan is able to continue one lap down.
Os que se envolveram na batida, Reagan continuou na prova, Keselowski também. Harvey ficou sem tempo. Keselowski está em 32º, a 8 voltas do líder por enquanto, mas deve ter aproveitado bem o tempo dele. Vamos ver se ele ficou ainda na pista mesmo. Por enquanto ele ainda está aparecendo aqui atrás do Harvick.
Let's go back to that pile up.
Watch
Brad Keselowski makes contact there with Chase Elliott, and then it's on. Then Keselowski spins, comes up the track, and collects Harvick into the wall. Jamie?
Well, Brad Keselowski was certainly one of the best cars in the field today. You just saw the replay. What's your take, Brad?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we wrecked at the front of the pack. I was trying to make a move underneath the 24, and he started to come down, and I just couldn't. My run was too strong. I couldn't do anything. I don't know if I made contact. It looks like I might have. I didn't think I did. Happened so fast. It's just too many moves, and the cars aren't stable enough to take that. And it just comes together, and it's just really disappointing for everybody. We're just trying to race and run off a few laps. We're not even at the end of the second stage, but I had such a run. I couldn't keep stopping. So I don't know. Just really bummed for everybody at Team Penske and the Discount Tire Ford team. We had an incredible car here for Speed Weeks, and it didn't come together, and that's devastating, but we'll go to Atlanta.
Two of his teammates, though, run out front. Ryan Blaney for Team Penske and Paul Menard for the Wood Brothers.
And he was odds-on favorite to win this race. And everybody said, who's the best restrictor plate racer down here right now?
Here comes Ricky Stenhouse with Trevor Bayne, the two Roush Fords.
Did Stenhouse have to
Pense que
jump
ainda tem
out of line
carro
there? It looks like he
completamente
might be
inteiro,
overheating a little bit. I
que é o
saw a
Ryan
little
Blaney.
steam
Quem
coming out of the
diria?
right side of that window.
Mas vamos ver se isso vai durar muito tempo. Stenhouse com problema, o carro tá meio danificado e tá fumando agora. Escapando água.
Hello. There's car owner Jack Roush, noted engine tuner. Larry?
Vamos ver se ele aguenta pelo menos essas 9 voltas.
The problem with being here at Daytona is they limit the grill opening. It can only be 2 1/4 tall by 23 open wide. What he's got to watch is the water pressure gauge.
He's coming in.
Tá esquentando muito.
8 laps to go in
Vai perder
stage
1 ou 2
2.
voltas.
But Stenhouse
Ainda assim
looking
é
like
melhor
a
do que
geyser
perder a
there.
corrida inteira.
Will come to pit road. Now, Kevin Harvick has taken
Aqui
his
em
car to the
Daytona, para
garage
evitar
area,
as
Matt.
duplinhas, o carro tem a pressão da água é muito pequena. Em outras pistas ela aguenta muito mais.
But he was missing one important piece they did not have in the pit.
What was that, Matt?
Mike, that would be the door.
Oh.
It was laying down in turn 4.
Thanks.
Não sei de qual piloto ele falou agora, mas ele só não continuou pois faltava a porta no carro. Acho que é o Harvick. Todo o resto eles consertaram, só faltou a porta do carro do Harvick.
Just wanted a shot there at the end, and tough circumstances, was just trying to make feel Blaney out. Let's kind of see what he was going to do, how aggressive he wanted to be, and had a big push and just got light at the wrong time and didn't make the right move.
Tive um empurrão muito bom, fiquei com o carro, a traseira solta na hora certa e não fiz a manobra correta.
As the field has 4 laps to go to complete the stage.
E aí, Stenhouse ainda parado no box.
They were under the hood through the left front tire trying to release the pressure from the radiator. You saw the steam get bigger when that happened. One of the best engine builders in the business, Doug Yates, was right down here on top of things, telling them what he wanted them to do.
Embaixo do capô do carro, tentando soltar a pressão do radiador. Ao menos para ir até o final do estágio. Já deve perder 1 ou 2 voltas. E olha o sol como está atrapalhando aí. Mas a câmera é um pouco... O olho humano é melhor do que a câmera. Ele consegue ver ainda. Mas é um desafio agora para os pilotos e também para os spotters, que da reta principal olhando para a curva 4 é meio difícil de... É o pior lugar para o spotter para auxiliar o piloto. Ele não tem tanta precisão assim. Corrida agora em fila indiana. Por boa parte do pelotão, com exceção do Logano ali. E tem um cachorro lá no streaming do cara, não é aqui. Não posso fazer nada. Stenhouse sendo ultrapassado.
Wallace drops to the inside of Stenhouse, 4th in line there. Matt?
Mike, remember Richard Petty's advice to Bubba Wallace: drive smart, don't put yourself in bad positions, and just be patient. And he's done that, and also on top of that, he has survived a lot of different incidents today. His car, though, has not been the same ever since he had that issue with the wall, and then also a little bit of a nudge on that left front fender. The car does not like to run the bottom. He prefers to kind of migrate up to the top side, Larry Mack.
When I see 3 of our top 10 drivers right now, they have all had issues early. Denny Hamlin penalized for pitting out of his box. Joey Logano was a lap down after making a green flag pit stop. And you look, Trevor Bayne had that issue as well on stop number 1. So 2 of those 3, not that many laps ago, were 1 lap down. This is a classic case. Never give up.
Amen. And it might have been a blessing to be.
Primeiros pilotos aí top 10, vários com problemas no começo da corrida e agora estão aí na frente. Logano já está na volta do líder. Deve ter ganho o Lucky Dog naquele big one.
A lot of guys told me things to do, but when Junior Johnson told me something to do, I did it.
A couple iconic numbers right together, the 43
Os 11 primeiros aí no primeiro pelotão. Ryan Newman está quase um segundo atrás. Não sei se dá conta.
Red light at pit road. 2 laps before the end of each stage. Pit road
Pit
closes.
fechado.
2 to go.
2 voltas pro final do estágio. Vamos ver agora se vai ter alguém tentando ultrapassar. Normalmente quando fica em fila indiana assim é para tentar passar na última hora.
Well, I mean, we've seen so far where when the stage comes to an end, they seem to want to get as many points as possible. I'm wondering, did they learn from those experiences and say, hey guys, let's calm
10
down.
pontos para o campeonato e principalmente um ponto de playoff se ganhar o estágio. Isso que é bem grande.
I think if those first 3 Fords stay single file now or on the last lap of the race, they're going to be very hard to deal with.
I know Blaney hopes they just kind of come
3 Fords nas 6 primeiras posições. Vamos ver se eles vão brigar entre si. Ou vão se ajudar agora.
The first 4 drivers are all in new rides this year. Blaney with Team Penske.
Primeiros 4 pilotos em carros novos este ano.
Eric Almirola moving over to Stuart Haas and Darrell Wallace Jr. for Richard Petty. Here comes Almirola in the 10.
How about that? Not content.
E agora acabou a fila indiana, hein?
Joey Logano to push Paul Menard.
Gosh, they get all crazy when it comes to one of these stages.
And it'll be Ryan Blaney.
Quase o toque do Blaney com o Menard.
Team Penske.
E ainda tinha um retardatário chegando ali. Final tenso.
120
Final de estágio tenso.
80 laps to go in the Daytona 500.
Tem 80 voltas aí.
Stops coming up as we celebrate Ryan Blaney's stage win.
Dá para respirar agora. E olha só aqui no Fantasy, não. Ué, passou na 4. Olha só, rapaz do céu. Olha quem tá liderando. Com essa super equipe aqui, ó. O roster. Os 5 que estavam correndo por fora. Por enquanto, se a coisa terminasse assim, né? Primeiras 3 posições. Blaney, Menard. Ah não, o Almirola estava em terceiro, agora não está mais. Mas olha aqui, Live Race Results. Kepler Racing Team em primeiro. Aqui na... Cadê o nome da liga? NASCAR Cup Brasil. A outra que eu estou participando é a Capibara Cup. Essa com aqueles só os medalhões. Quase último lugar, só com 84 pontos. Nada bom. Volta aqui. Mas é só se terminasse assim que ia dar toda essa vantagem. Tá certo que eu tenho uma vantagem grande agora com os pontos de estágio. Essas não tem mais como tirar. Fiz 26 pontos. Só o Eduardo Guimarães também tem 26. Tinha colocado o Logano para ganhar o estágio 2. Quase que eu acerto. Chegou em terceiro. O Blaney é um grande candidato a vencer, mas ele não tem tanta experiência liderando corrida de Super Speedway. E agora não tem mais tanto companheiro assim. Tem o Logano ali, só que o Logano não tá para ajudar ele. Porque essa Lasso também não tava antes.
Of the Daytona 500. 5 Fords out front. Blaney, Menard, Logano, Almirola,
para ver o que vai acontecer.
Até
onde o Blaney vai manter essa liderança? E se perder, como é que ele vai perder? Vai perder para quem? Tá, vamos deixar o pessoal falar agora.
The area affected most by NASCAR's recent efforts to level the playing field on pit road involves the impact gun. In years past, the hammer or clutch gun would turn maximum about 13,000 RPM. The Paoli lease gun maxes out at about 10,000 RPM. 3.5 pounds heavier, a little bit bulkier too, and a smaller impact socket, which means the changer has to be even more precise when he hits the lugs. What does that mean for the race fan? More excitement and drama here on pit road.
Now, pit stops are slower than they were, partly because of one less man to work on the car, and also because of the spec gun that every team at every position must use. Some teams were spending
estavam falando da nova pistola, nova regra para nivelar o pelotão, nova pistola de ar padrão para todas as equipes. Eles já estavam exagerando, tinha umas pistolas aí que tiravam 20.000 RPMs, gastando muita grana para fazer uma boa pistola. E realmente não é por aí.
Pit road is open this time for cars that are on the lead lap. 21 of them. Vince.
21 carros ao
Well, the
líder.
12 of Ryan
Esses agora
Blaney
podem
far
parar.
away has led the most laps today, and he has been very pleased with the car. Crew Chief Jeremy Bullins asked him to get a little bit closer to the wall when he came into the pit box on this stop. It's going to be right sides and fuel, Jamie.
Pneus e combustível pro Blaney. Tá muito feliz com o carro.
Too much time. Meanwhile, Eric Almirola in the 10 taking 4 tires to give him options. Matt?
Nice recovery by
Almirola trocando 4 pneus para poder trocar 2 depois, se ele quiser.
His car over that run, tight down to turns 3 and 4. That's where it mostly showed up. Ended that stage P3.
Logano falando que o carro dele estava dianteiro na 3 e 4.
As Joey Logano had to sweep around the outside of Alex Bowman and nearly collected
quase que o Logano e o Bowman se tocam.
He was fishtailing out of there. Watch this thing. Yeah.
E quase que o Logano também roda para dentro da barreira de
We dial
pneus.
up our stage 2 winner, Ryan Blaney.
Cuidado
Hey,
aí.
Ryan, this is Jeff up at Fox Sports booth. You got me?
Não faz assim, Joey.
Hey, Ryan Blaney. Jeff Gordon up here. You got me?
Entrevista com o Blaney.
Hey, yeah, I got you.
Well, man, congrats on that win there for the stage. I got to tell you, this racing's been insane in this Daytona 500. Nobody seems to be content wanting to do anything other than lead. I mean, what do you see its difference leading to that this year?
I think the biggest difference is you get bigger runs with this rules package. With no ride heights, I feel like your runs are so much larger that you have to go somewhere when you hit somebody, and I think that's what gives people more confidence. Our car's been really fast, which has been nice to have, but it's been crazy hard to try to control the race. As a leader, there's some really fast cars that can get big runs, so it's been wild so far, and I don't really see it calming down here anytime soon.
Well, good luck with that. Thanks a lot.
Ryan Blaney, your stage 1 winner, or stage 2 winner rather, picks up a playoff point. Well done.
Comerciais, em breve teremos a relargada. Quase que o Menard e o Blaney se tocam ali, hein? Ah, imagina se isso acontece. Não ia sobrar quase ninguém para brigar pela vitória. E ainda tem 80 voltas. Corrida bem diferente do ano passado, onde eles deixaram para o início do terceiro estágio para ir para cima. Aliás, com 12 voltas para o final do segundo estágio que começou as amarelas. Primeiro foi o Kyle Busch que estourou o pneu, mas daí desde a relargada daquela amarela acho que teve várias disputas e acidentes. Até umas 40 voltas pro final e daí ficou em bandeira verde até o final de novo. Pô, ainda tô aberto aqui no Discord, agora que eu vi.
The Daytona 500 on Fox is sponsored by Toyota. Let's go places.
Getting ready for the restart. It'll be 74 laps to go when they take the restart green. Ryan Blaney has elected the outside. Puts teammate Joey Logano next to him. And stablemate Paul Menard right behind. How about a little restart strategy?
What do we want to do here? Or 1, 2, 3? Want to do the gate? Yeah, we were just talking about that. I think he starts up top and we let him in, line us up. I guess, yeah. Pull us up and go to the top.
Yeah, so basically what that means is he's going to start. Logano might hesitate a split second to get the Ryan Blaney car, the 12 car, out ahead of him. After they cross the start-finish line, he can come down to that inside lane.
Martin Truex had a tire violation on the pit stop, so he'll be out back. Denny Hamlin
Martin Truex largando no fundo do pelotão.
Clint Boyer is down a cylinder on his number 14.
Clint Boyer sem cilindro no carro.
Tá
em sétimo agora, mas provavelmente vai perder posições. Vamos para relargada.
You'll see the Geico restart zone. Blaney can take off at any time in that green area. Here we go, green flag.
Yeah, Blaney really didn't get the best of starts. Looks like Logano had to check up a tiny bit, but now Blaney's able to drop down in front of him. And there are those three Penske, well, Wood Brothers and Penske Fords all lined up.
The first Toyota is Hamlin in fourth, and the first Chevrolet is now part-time racer who now says he's down here on vacation. Brendan Gaughan from Las Vegas in a one-off start in the 62.
Probably out there driving in his flip-flops.
Denny Hamlin had other thoughts on breaking up those Fords. His Toyota is able to get to the outside of Paul Menard and get into the third position.
Denny Hamlin se
Trevor
mete,
Bayne behind him, then
se
Ryan
mete
Newman
entre
in a
os Fords
Chevrolet,
ali.
then Alex Bowman.
O 6 do Bayne.
Vince?
E o 22 do Logano.
Well, the one thing about Brendan Gaughan,
mas não tá ficando lá por muito tempo.
Daytona.
Já tava ameaçando descer.
In the 500, and he was 7th here in the summer in July. And I tell you what, if there's anybody that's any more relaxed than Brendan Gaughan, I don't know him. He gets in that race car and he has a lot of fun, and he especially likes it here at Daytona. Having some more fun today for sure.
Riding with Eric Almirola, Gaughan just ahead. There goes Bubba Wallace to the outside, and Martin Truex rebounding from a penalty for a tire violation.
Hey, you know, it looks like the 3 Fords, the 12, the 22, and the 21, and now the 6 is in there, and then you got the 11. You know,
é uma grande linha agora, uma grande diferenciada.
And see what they can do here, because the 11's fast.
I was having some concerns with the 11 of Denny Hamlin. He was further back in the pack and wasn't showing much speed, wasn't making any moves to move forward. Now he's in third and looks strong again.
Well, he has Martin Truex he could work with, but his teammates are either 2 laps down, Kyle Busch, or in the garage.
Yeah, you know, we talked about Brad Keselowski being the favorite. I think Denny Hamlin is equally as good as Brad Keselowski when it comes to restrictor plate racing.
How about it, Jamie?
So far, he has overcome that penalty from the start of the race. Denny Hamlin in third. He has some left rear damage from that last caution. It just pushed the fender in just a little bit, but good thing for him. They pitted. They pulled the fender out. It doesn't seem to be an issue. They took left sides on that last stop. He's happy with it.
Well, Ryan Blaney may be the leader, but right behind him are 4 former Daytona 500 winners. That experience is kicking in.
Now it is.
O Blaney pode ser o líder agora, mas atrás dele tem 4 pilotos que já ganharam as 500 de Daytona antes.
Trevor has dodged a lot of big incidents, some close calls for him. The other thing he was asking for on this last pit stop was a tear-off. We're in that part of the day right now. We're through turns 3 and 4. The sun gets very difficult, and it's tough for these guys to see if they don't have a clear tear-off.
Trava stream, vou tentar o outro aqui.
Just ahead.
Deixa aqui. Isso aqui só tem comerciais.
Austin Dillon to the inside in the 3. How about Joey Logano in second place, Matt?
Mike, experience near the front, also on top of the spotter stand. TJ Majors coming on board, and it's really been a seamless transition. He and Joey spent a lot of time together in the offseason watching old races, including last year's Daytona 500. In fact, TJ sat next to Joey, and he spotted the video that they were watching just so Joey could learn his cadence, how he describes things, including last weekend's clash, just trying to work on different small details to make this transition even better.
Every spotter is different in the way he approaches the job, certainly. 69 laps to go, race fans. Instead of going to a commercial break, we're going to go Toyota all out. Denny Hamlin has rebounded nicely from that early penalty of being over the line and servicing the car to now run in third. Martin Truex, your series champ, didn't win a stage, but he's in 9th place. He's a contender. Trevor Bayne has come to pit road and dropped out of the lead draft. Here's Kyle Busch. And a tough day for him. 2 left side tire problems for Kyle. One bringing out a caution back at lap 51. He's 3 laps down.
You know, Mike, one thing I really like what Denny Hamlin said. Remember how surprised he was how well they qualified? He said, I don't know how we could have qualified that fast. We're in race trim. And that car has been fast. If he hadn't had that mistake on pit road, he'd have been right where he is right now. It just took him a while to get back there.
Started tail end with the longest line on the restart. Truex has rebounded to 8th. Denny Hamlin has Toyota's only Daytona 500 win so far by inches in 2016. Now, as we continue with Toyota All Out, we caught up with Denny Hamlin to learn more about his start in racing.
Since I started, you're like, how did you get started in racing? It really started when I went to a race at Richmond when I was 5 years old. And, we had season tickets at Richmond, and we always would hang them on the fridge, and it's something that we always look forward to. I mean, that's how I got hooked, is I felt the speed, I smelled the tires and the fuel, and I felt the passion for the racing, and I just immediately wanted to be a race car driver.
Hopefully this video will inspire the next kid who wants to be a race car driver to go out and chase his dreams.
Toyota, let's go places.
That's our Toyota All Out. It all starts with a boy and a dream, and it may end up in victory lane at the Daytona 500.
Couldn't agree with you more, Mike. He's a great driver, and he really likes these restrictor plate races. His day is just beginning. Tell you, a guy I've been watching back there a little bit, the 21 car of Menard, who was up front there forever or near the front. He's having a little trouble getting back up there, and it's kind of frustrating him a little bit, I think.
Denny Hamlin just had a slight issue off of turn 2. He could not turn his car down to follow those leaders, and it allowed some cars to get underneath him. Now he's able to pick that draft back up and get to the rear bumper of the 22.
Yeah, it's Ryan Newman that's lost his spot there. Let's check on the leader with Vince.
A little bit of a concern for Ryan Blaney. He's got a piece of debris on the grill, and they've told him it's a small piece, but they're keeping an eye on his that debris. Make sure it doesn't collect anything else, and want Ryan to keep an eye on his gauges. But the spotter, Josh Williams, spotted it, said keep an eye on it, keep an eye on those gauges, and we'll keep an eye on the debris. But right now, they don't believe it's an issue.
Thanks, Vince. Blaney and Logano in Fords, Hamlin's Toyota, Alex Bowman the pole sitter, and look at 5th place. Matt DiBenedetto driving the number 32. Gene Need, the crew chief, Go Fast Racing, and right up there in the front 5.
Well, we saw him at Bristol have a great run there and kind of made a name for himself. He's a great kid, great driver. Good for him.
When I saw Alex Bowman getting the opportunity to drive the number 88 car for Rick Hendrick, I first immediately thought of Matt DiBenedetto, because he's been back there racing with Alex Bowman towards the back of the pack in previous years, and he sees now one of his buddies getting a great opportunity. This guy can drive. If he gets an opportunity, watch out.
Regan?
Guys, a car we haven't talked about much today, the 34 of Michael McDowell. He's been working his way up through the pack all day, running in the top 10 right now. Strong car and very happy with his race car. Crew chief told me earlier today that he's had no complaints about it.
Derek Finley, crew chief on that 34 car. Michael McDowell, good combination.
.62 laps to go. Looking at one of the keys to having a group of cars that can run up front. Larry with our Ford Performance car.
Yeah, we hear the word draft a lot, so we're going to use our Ford Performance car with multi-cars with the aero tracks, and you can see right there, red is high pressure. But with these cars all linked together, you see no red on these cars right here. It's less pressure, which is less downforce on those cars behind the lead car, and they're running in the airstream of that lead car. That's why they can run faster lined up like we're seeing the front guys do right now.
Also, Larry, that's why sometimes when you're behind a car, maybe 3rd, 4th in line, you get too close to that outside wall and it'll just suck you in there. You just don't have the downforce.
Yeah, Jeff, I think one of the things that's thrown these guys a curve, they knew coming here we'd have the no ride height rule, which means the back of the car is much slower than it's ever been before. That increases speed dramatically, but it's also created some aerodynamic issues that I just don't think guys were ready for. I think they figured it out a little bit better from when they first started here last week. That still can be a problem in this race.
Bubba Wallace having a nice drive, currently in 6th place.
Fans also need refreshment, so buckle up and grab an ice-cold Coke. You're watching NASCAR on Fox.
This NASCAR on TSN Access Update is presented by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
With over 50 years of racing success, the legendary Chevrolet Camaro is poised to make its mark on NASCAR's biggest stage. And in 2018, Chevrolet is bringing that pedigree of winning to Canada. For the first time, the Chevrolet Camaro will hit the track in the NASCAR Pinty Series. It will do so carrying Chevrolet's history of championship success. Chevrolet leads the way with 775 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series wins, the most all time. Chevrolet's 39 manufacturers' titles and 42 drivers' titles are also the best in NASCAR's top series.
Make room! Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt. There's another 7-time champ.
Chevrolet has also powered some of NASCAR's greatest legends to historic championships.
20 years of trying, 20 years of frustration. Dale Earnhardt will win the Daytona 500.
Now, looking to build on that foundation of glory, the 2018 Camaro is ready to take the track across Canada. With a sleek new look and body design, the new Chevrolet Camaro is refined and ready to perform. Sharing an on-track look across all of NASCAR's best series, the new Chevrolet Camaro is ready to win in 2018.
This NASCAR on
The Daytona 500 on Fox is sponsored by the 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar. By Credit One Bank, you may already be pre-qualified. Visit us today. And by Discount Tire, changing more than tires.
57 laps to go. Ryan Blaney continues to lead. Let's take a look at today's Credit One Bank ones to watch.
Well, not many people remember who finished second last year's Daytona 500. Well, they might remember who he is this year because he might win the Daytona 500, dominating this race. Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, Jeff, Alex Bowman has not run a cup race since the Clash 1 year ago, but he's looking like a seasoned veteran in that 88 car. He'll become a first-time winner today, DW.
Larry, I tell you what, I like Joey Logano in a 22 car. I tell you why, he's won this race before, and I think he might just be lurking. What do you think, Larry Mack? Or Michael, sorry, buddy.
All right, Darrell, thank you. I'm going to take my buddy Denny Hamlin, and I'll tell you why. He prides himself on being tougher than the competition, both physically and mentally. He made a mistake. He'll battle back from that mistake, and he'll win his second Daytona 500 today, Mike.
You guys took all the low-hanging fruit, so I guess I have the field. Ryan Newman and Martin Truex have the most experience of those not already chosen.
Mike, you took the field? What?
You took all the front runners. I hate picking last. But somebody has to.
So far, it's worked
okay.
out pretty good for you. You picked two winners.
Well, that's true.
I'll take the field.
Well, A.J. Allmendinger and Chris Buescher. Nose to tail in line there in front of Eric Almirola, the two teammates at JTG Doherty Racing. That's Jody and Tad Geschichter and NBA legend Brad Doherty that own that team. Got two cars in the top 10 right now. .54 laps to go and time for another Twitter fan race in the hashtag 500. That's a Twitter competition during today's race where you can tweet for the chance to win real gear being used here at the 500. If you're one of the first 500 people to tweet right now with the hashtags on your screen, you could be entered for a chance to win Martin Truex's very sweaty fire suit at the end of the day. You ready to yank that crank?
Yes.
What do you want to do?
Crank it up.
Crank it up.
Now going away.
Should have been up here.
Down and then we're the first lap, two down, is that it? We're three down.
It'll be 50 laps to go next time by the start-finish line. Ryan Blaney leading Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Alex Bowman, and Matt DiBenedetto, the front five in the Daytona 500 on Fox. Are faring in this year's race: Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, second, third. New member Darrell Wallace in sixth. Ryan Newman seventh, and just outside the top 10, Austin Dillon and Kyle Larson. Daniel Suarez got caught up in that big wreck at the end of the stage, lap 60. The attrition rate has been quite high, and over the last couple of seasons has been fairly low. But two big pileups, lap 60 and lap 102, took these notables out of the race. Drivers are all okay. Cars are not.
Mike, we're getting in that stage of the race now, like when you start thinking about, what am I going to do?
Well, Larry Mack's been working his calculator here, Larry.
Well,
green flag pit stops?
Yeah, based on when they last pitted at lap 123, Mike, and we went back racing at 126, we should see green flag pit stops between 170 and 175, 25 to 30 to go. But right now, the window is open. So could there be some planning going on to get that stop out of the way now that the window is opening? You have to have a group. They have to come together, and they have to do the same thing on pit road. You can't have some doing just fuel, just 2 or 4. Everybody has to do the same thing.
That's something we have not seen today, is any green flag stops, and not many 4-tire stops either. Look like a little bit of action starting to begin on pit road.
But as Larry points out, the window's open, so if you stop now, you can make it to the finish should we stay green.
Yeah, the drivers are thinking about what they're going to do, but also those crew chiefs down there. They're right now, just like Larry was doing with that calculator. What should I do? Should I come now or should I wait?
Now, looking ahead to the end of the race, NASCAR's green-white checker rule has again been revised for this year. There's no more overtime line. If we have a green-white checker and the leader makes it around and takes the white flag under green, the next flag ends the race. But if he doesn't, there is no limit how many green flag checkers we could have, as we found out in yesterday's Xfinity Series race.
Mike Wheeler's wheels are turning right now, I can tell you that.
Back of the pack, 5 cars are coming to pit road. Led by Ricky Stenhouse, Austin Dillon, Clint Boyer, Brendan Gaughan, and Kyle Busch, who's laps down. Regan?
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. hits pit road. He's 1 lap down, trying to get another lap back. The car's been good all day long except for that slight overheating issue. Jamie?
Austin Dillon said handling really not bad. Happy with it here. They said fuel only for the 3.
Well, 3 of those cars will get off pit road together. Dillon, Stenhouse, and Gaughan. Boyer hustling up to join them. Kyle Busch laps down, taking on 4 tires. DJ Kennington to pit road. He's out of contention with a lot of damage on his number 96. Race fans, next weekend, Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500. You can join us next Sunday, February 25th, 2 p.m. only on Fox. Penalty for Kyle Busch, too fast exiting pit road.
Mike, one thing I noticed on Kyle Busch when he left pit, I thought he left a little hot, but he also heard the back of that car chattering up and down. These cars are not moving much in the back. They're so pulled down so tight in the back right now, they're not getting a lot of travel. I think that causes these guys, some of these guys, some problems.
Right, and we saw Austin Dillon come down pit road and only do fuel, and he's not that far ahead of this pack. They are single file, really putting fast speeds and laps together, so you can't afford to do anything under green flag stops right now except for fuel only.
Big triple header at Atlanta. Trucks and Xfinity on Saturday. Cup race on Sunday. Great old pavement racetrack. 1.5 miles Atlanta Motor Speedway next week. Well, no more leaders coming to pit road, so we're going to take you side by side. 38 laps to go in Daytona, where Ryan Blaney, new teammate to Joey Logano at Team Penske, has led 3 times for 89 laps in his Ford Fusion. Joey Logano running in second, right in Blaney's tire tracks these last 10 or 12 laps. Looking forward to pit stops. How did Denny Hamlin break up that Ford group at the front? Well, that is today's Clean Pass presented by Tide.
Watch this. Bump draft into Paul Menard. Oh, yeah, just move him right out of your way. Paul forced them to move down.
Paul went the wrong way.
He thought he was going to go with him.
He did.
It suckered him.
We may need to call Mike Pereira of Fox to define Clean Pass for us after that one.
I know Todd was cleaned up my act, so good luck.
37 to go. Larry, we know that pit window is open, but as the fuel load gets lighter and lighter in the back, the tires get more and more wear. How long do you want to stay out there?
Well, I still believe, Mike, in about the next 8 to 10 laps, we're going to see green flag pit stops. But I think about everything we've seen today under caution flag stops. We've seen sliding through the pit box, speeding, uncontrolled tire. If you have that on this, what might be the last stop, your day is done in an attempt to win the Daytona 500. You can't slide those tires, especially if you're going to just do 2.
You know, Larry, one thing I think that Joey Logano is tired of that 12 car leading this race. He's starting to get a little racy looking to me. He's looked out a couple of times. Not so sure that 22 doesn't want to jump to the lead here.
Yeah, I think of those 2 behind him, the 22 Logano and Denny Hamlin, neither one of them like to ride behind anybody else. They love to be out in control of the race.
And here's Alex Bowman in 4th. They're riding along with the Daytona 500 pole sitter. He has 81 starts in the Cup Series, but mostly in lesser equipment. This is his first time to be really in this position at Daytona, up at the front of the field.
You know, he and his team were criticized for not racing in their qualifying race. Quite honestly, I thought it was the smartest thing they could have possibly done. He wasn't happy with the car. They worked on the car. They've got it where it's racy, and here he is, got a shot at winning this thing.
You know, to win the Daytona 500, you've got to have a fast race car, execute flawlessly, and you got to have some brakes go your way. Think about how some of those wrecks that he could have so easily been in, but Alex Bowman was able to slide through.
I think Bowman, he's in the right. I keep saying it. It's his time. He's got the experience. He's got 81 starts. He knows what it feels like to drive a car that's not so good. Now he knows what it feels like to be up front with a chance to win, and I think he'll capitalize on it.
34 laps to go. Let's go down to Chris Myers for a Monster Energy race break.
Thanks, Mike, and it's been fun to watch, so cheers, happy Daytona Day. And as we recap what happened earlier, we already had a quarter of the cars drivers wreck out of this race. Remember the late, great Dale Earnhardt said, you win some, you lose some, and you crash some. And that's been the case as we recap earlier at the end of stage 1, won by Kurt Busch. This is Ryan Blaney and Stenhouse that took out Jimmy Johnson, among others.
Look at Daniel Suarez just hard into the outside wall with that helmet cam. You can see the impact. Jimmy Johnson said, they're blocking too soon. I don't like what I see out there.
And lap 102, so just more than halfway with Blaney the leader. Chase out. It's a tough smack into the wall going over 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, and takes Danica Patrick with him as well. This is another example of just a late block, and those cars run into each other at the front of the pack, causing melee.
And Danica Patrick, her NASCAR career ends with this wreck. Also, Brad Keselowski, the favorite in the race, Kevin Harvick involved as well in that crash. Right now, with Blaney and then 2 guys who won the Daytona 500 behind him, Logano and Hamlin, the pressure's on the young Blaney, who has already clinched the most laps led for this race.
You know, and if you're not up front in the first 4 or 5 spots, you're not going to win this race. You need to figure out some strategy. Austin Dillon's already been to pit road. He's running in that front group. Can his speed keep him up front once everyone's pitted? I'm looking forward to seeing that.
And speaking of pitting, green flag pit stops look like they're on the way. Let's go back up to Jeff, Darrell, and Mike.
Thanks, Chris. Daytona Day parties from Scarborough, Maine to Saratoga, California, Fort Campbell, Kentucky, 6,000 people at Texas Motor Speedway. all enjoying the great American race. The leaders are about to get into some heavy double-wide traffic ahead.
Yeah, I think something's changing with that 12 car. He's starting to run the bottom in 3 and 4. Maybe the sun going down. Maybe that's the reason why. Runs high 1 and 2. Seem to run low in 3 and 4. I don't know if the handles may be going away a little bit on that car, but I do know that 22 keeps wanting to look like he might want to try to make a pass.
I was curious to see if he's going to get stalled out in this lap traffic, but looks like Blaney made a great call to go the outside. He's going to take that train of cars behind him with him.
Jamie McMurray.
Whoa!
In the middle. Longest green flag stretch of racing today as we go side by side. You saw Joey Logano lead that group of cars onto pit road. On the radio, Joey said he didn't pump the brakes up enough. Too fast entering pit road in segment 1, the segment that starts at the yellow line. Trying to beat his teammate Ryan Blaney, who has a very early pit stall. Finally gets slowed down, but
okay, back again. He's trying my roadcast in Portuguese. He wants something else. Just look for NASCAR Live.
Driver error, crew error.
Denny Hamlin
Estamos de
leads
volta
the Daytona
aí.
500.
Denny Hamlin liderando.
And
Por
Martin
enquanto,
Truex Jr.
Joey Logano penalizado por excesso de limite de velocidade. E agora chega aí o trem. Hamilton liderando, mas não por muito tempo.
There's your Toyota top performers.
Ryan Blaney reassume a liderança.
Just think Denny Hamlin paid the price pitting by himself with no help.
He sure did, Larry.
So we cycle back to Ryan Blaney, Truex, and Kurt Busch.
Mais uma rodada completa de pitstops. E segue a corrida em fila indiana. E agora estão botando volta aí no Logano. Se ele ficasse lá na frente, talvez ainda podia ajudar o Ryan Blaney. Mas indo lá pro fundão. Não, nem sei se é o Logano, acho que é outro carro ali. Deixa eu ver. Logano está aparecendo em 15º a 34 segundos do líder. O último carro na volta do líder. Aí vem o Trevor Bayne uma volta atrás, em 16º. Vai demorar mais um pouquinho até eles chegarem no Logano. Provavelmente ele deve estar com um grupo de carros, não deve estar sozinho na pista. A última volta dele 44.7. Foi a mesma velocidade do Blaney, que está liderando a prova. Mas quem está lá dentro do pelotão está virando até 3 décimos mais rápido. O Kurt Busch virou 44.4. Vamos ver nesta volta. Atualizou aqui o tempo de volta. 24 voltas para o
Laps to
final.
go in the 60th Daytona 500. Here's your Busch race summary. Ryan Blaney has now been out front for 100 laps. He's the first of 15 lead lap cars and one of 12 leaders, 18 lead changes, 6 caution flags so far for 28 laps, and 11 cars out of the race. Martin Truex in second place, not just riding there.
As long as we don't give him no room in front of us, he can't leapfrog us there. Yeah, Coffee, I'm committed to pushing this guy. I ain't even going to think about passing him because I can't. Good call.
Wow.
It's always like that. Everybody said, why didn't you pass him? Because he was faster than me. I couldn't.
Que você não
Martin
passou
Truex
porque ele foi
got
mais
4
rápido que
tires
eu,
at
ora.
lap 123. His most recent stop was gas only. When they had that 4-tire stop, they had 1 tire get away and had it serve a tire violation and restart last.
Well, Martin Truex Jr.'s talked about not having great speed all through speed weeks. I think right now, without having fresh tires, they have a little bit of handling issues along with the speed of that car. Larry?
Yeah, 2 completely different pit agendas when you look at those top 2 right there. You just talked about Martin Truex Jr. 4 tires at lap 123, fuel only at 171. I go back to something Regan Smith asked me right before lap 100. What was maybe the agenda? Because Jeremy Bullins, crew chief for Ryan Blaney, he did lefts at lap 94, rights at lap 123, and rights again at 171. They have not changed lefts since lap 94, Vince.
Well, in that 78 of Martin Truex Jr., they've had some handling issues throughout the course of the day anyway, so it hasn't been the best handling car. And then you guys noted they haven't been particularly satisfied with their speed here during speed weeks either. But the one thing you can say about Truex, he's got to be pleased with where he's positioned, because last year in the 4 restrictor plate races, he DNF'd in 3 of the 4, had contact in all 4, and his average finish was 26. So he's got to feel pretty good about running second right now.
I would say so. The fellow who's really got to feel good about his spot is Kurt Busch. Boy, he's been here before. Not only did he win the race last year in this number 41, but he's finished second in the 500 3 times, helping to push a teammate to the win.
Remember last year, não só ganhou o último ano, chegou 3 vezes segundo,
sempre empurrando o companheiro para ganhar.
Yeah, plus the sun's going down, the track's cooling off. That'll change things a little bit.
And we're just inside of 20 laps to go.
Festival de comerciais da TV americana, graças a Deus a gente está com essa fonte da Premiere Europeia aqui. Tá certo que agora não está acontecendo muita coisa na prova, mas chega de comercial, pô. Daytona 500 com 20 voltas pro final. Não se deve fazer comercial. Muito desrespeito com o telespectador. De 18 para o final, seguimos verde. Bela corrida do Wallace também, sexto lugar.
Riding with Kyle Larson, 3 laps down. Mark Thompson, age 66. The oldest driver to start the 500. This will be his final go at Daytona. Owner of a jetport in Cartersville, Georgia. When the U.S. military wants to move sensitive equipment, they call Mark Thompson. Here come the leaders. Moving past, led by Ryan Blaney. The last driver to lead 100 laps in the Daytona 500 was Tony Stewart in 2005. The last driver to win and lead over 100 laps, Dale Earnhardt, 1998.
I think Richard Petty won 184 laps here in 1964. That hadn't been done in a long time.
Well, we saw where Joey Logano had his issues getting to pit road, cost him a penalty. It's about to cost him a lap as these leaders are bearing down on him.
Yeah, you know, with Logano in the hunt there when he was right on Blaney's back bumper, I thought he would be the guy that would shake things up. Now, not so much.
Alex Bowman in 4th. He's the first Chevrolet in the race. Here's his spotter, Kevin Hamlin.
Still with the 31 spotter. Hoping they play nice with us. Neither one of us got any teammates in here, so we need to work together.
Bowman, Newman, and Bubba Wallace in Chevrolets, 4th, 5th, and 7th right now. Oh, little jostling here.
Yeah, Logano side drafted these leaders as they went by, and actually Alex Bowman just lost that help from fellow Chevrolet teammate in Ryan Newman.
Yeah, you know, Logano up in the middle of this crowd, he could be the spoiler. I mean, who knows what he's going to do.
Yeah, Newman's 31 down to the inside, got hung out to dry, and goes to the back of the pack. "14 laps to go. 35 miles to decide the 60th running of the Great American Race."
Mais uma propaganda, Fox. Os caras estão de brincadeira. Olha o Hamlin. Se quisesse botar para dentro, ele poderia. Só para ver se quiser a diferença de velocidade que o carro tem. É o tiro da NASCAR para aumentar a disputa na frente. Meio que saiu pela culatra. deram mais potência para os carros e daí ficou todo mundo em fila indiana esperando para a última volta.
Here comes the lead pack. Next time they come to the stripe, it'll be 10 laps to go. Third generation racer Ryan Blaney in his first drive as a full team. Trouble, turn 4. A car spins to the inside. It's William Byron.
William Byron rodando. Amarela.
Oh boy.
Para salvar a gente de uma disputa só na metade final da última volta.
Well, that changes some things.
Yeah, you know what it changes? The 22 will get back on the lead lap.
Yes.
He's got a fast car.
E agora começa.
First car, 1 lap
And
down.
so it begins.
Byron's car damaged from that earlier crash at lap 60. They'd made a lot of repairs, but right rear down there. And here's what happens. Look for the flames and the sparks.
Yeah, right rear tire. Probably haven't, you know, he's got a lot of body damage. Probably rubbed it.
Right front blows out as he's locked up the tires, sliding there on the apron.
Jeff, I mean, I'm Ryan Blaney. I've led 114 laps of this race. The next closest guy to me is Kurt Busch. He's led 14. Man, and then I'm thinking, I had this in the bag. This changes everything. This sets up for an incredible finish.
I like how you think he had it in the bag. I think those others were sitting back there just waiting for this thing to wind down to find that moment where they can make that pass.
And this is their chance, because the best thing Blaney had going for him was Martin Truex on his bumper, and Truex said he had nothing for him. So if those two cars are hooked up, it's doubly difficult for anybody to make a move and get by them. Now they'll line up double file for the restart.
And this is where Blaney's going to have to make a decision. Do I want Kurt Busch pushing me on the restart or Alex Bowman? He can choose if he wants the inside lane or the outside lane.
Larry, do I want tires or track position?
Oh, I want tires, but I'm not going to give them to you if you're up near the front. Yeah, we may see some guys at the back come, like we're seeing right now. You're not going to give up track position in the top 6 or 7.
And you talked about who do I want behind me? I want the 41 car. Makes the most sense that he would be willing to help.
I know you say that, but that 88 of Bowman is a very fast car and a pretty fast pusher.
These are the things that go through your mind, Mike, when you're riding around here writing under caution. Just what we're talking about. Do I want the inside? Do I want this guy? Do I want that guy? Where do I want to restart? What do I got to do here? You know, and you're asking your crew and you're asking everybody a little input here.
I felt like I've seen throughout the day that the inside lane seems to have a slight advantage to get up to speed, to get that lead. So that may be a factor also.
Well, just think about it. If the 78's not that fast, put him on the outside, put the 41 behind me, put the 88 behind the 78, and I should be in good shape.
So 7 cars stay out, led by Ryan Blaney. He's had the dominant car, but at age 24, it's only his 4th Daytona 500 and his 91st Cup start, whereas right behind him, Cup champions, Martin Truex 2017. Kurt Busch is a champion of the series and of the Daytona 500. He won it last year.
Mike, let's not forget, though, Blaney ran 2nd here last year, so he's pretty good at this racetrack.
And the youth movement, Alex Bowman replaced Dale Earnhardt Jr., who retired after 2017 and started this race from the pole. Ask Denny Hamlin who the best restrictor plate racer in NASCAR is, and he'll say Denny Hamlin. And a lot of people agree with him.
I couldn't argue with him.
It's hard to argue with that.
And Matt DiBenedetto giving this car a great ride, looking for his first ever top 5 finish in NASCAR. Michael McDowell with a new team. Eric Almirola, new to Stewart-Haas Racing, in 7th. They all stayed out. Another Daytona 500 winner, Ryan Newman, was the first car off pit road.
Muitos carros ficaram na pista.
Austin Dillon, Chris Buescher, Darrell Wallace, Brendan Gaughan, and Paul Menard. They will be joined by Joey Logano, the free pass car. And those will be your 15 cars on the lead lap. We're going to have a fight to the finish. And then tonight on FS1, catch UFC Fight Night. Cowboy Cerrone steps into the octagon to face Yancy Medeiros. UFC Fight Night tonight after the Daytona 500 over on FS1, or stream it live on Fox Sports Go. 8 laps to go in the Daytona 500. Here's a quick word from Duracell.
This.
Guys, we're going to go back racing with 7 to go. I'm back with my race trends. If you look at the last 10 Daytona 500s, the average of the last caution, we're already past that lap 188 with 12 to go. But 7 times of those 10 in the last 10 laps, in 4 of our last 8 Daytona 500s, we've had overtime.
Basicamente quer dizer que teve muitas vezes que a gente passou da distância real da NASCAR nas últimas 10 edições.
Yeah, 10-4, just same thing as before, just trying to reestablish in the strongest line.
You hear it, a lot of these drivers shutting that engine off and coasting, saving fuel. You don't know how many possible restarts could happen. You mentioned it earlier, Mike, unlimited amount of green-white checkers in this Daytona 500, unlike in the past.
Economize gasolina, pois podemos ter muitas relargadas.
I think Ryan Blaney heard you fellas. He's elected the inside for this restart. Pace car is in. Blaney inside, Truex outside. And here we go.
Pace car entrou, vamos para a relargada, 7 voltas para o final. Blaney, Truex.
Bowman did not get a very good start there. A little bit of a gap. That's really going to help Blaney.
Bowman também não largou muito bem. Nem o Truex. Toda a linha de dentro disparando. Principalmente o Blaney e Kurt Busch. Truex fica agora lado a lado com Denny Hamlin. Vamos ver agora, à medida que o embalo pega, o efeito ioiô. Essa linha de fora deve contra-atacar. Truex agora tentando escolher 2 linhas para bloquear. E lá vem o Hamlin por fora. Olha o bloqueio. Por fora, Blaney preso no meio. Kurt Busch para a liderança. Vamos ver por quanto tempo. Quem está atrás dele parece que não está querendo empurrar, não. Está querendo passar. Lá vem o Hamlin. Denny Hamlin e Kurt Busch brigando pela liderança. Ryan Blaney está logo ali.
On the bottom. Boy, Blaney did a great job though of getting himself back up here in 2nd place.
Yeah,
he made a great move, made it 3 wide and really made a great move.
Ainda está em posições de ter chance de brigar pela vitória.
By Kurt Busch in the 41 because the only way to pass Blaney was to gang up on both sides.
Todo mundo balançando lá atrás.
And run coming from the 12. He's definitely going to get to the outside of the 41.
Oh yeah, and I think he can make the pass although he's all by himself.
Almirola empurra muito bem, o Blaney agora vai por fora, trazendo agora o Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin dessa vez não tenta passar. Tentando usar o próprio carro do Blaney, que é muito forte, para chegar lá no Kurt Busch. Provavelmente ele vai querer passar o Kurt Busch e depois tentar. Kurt Busch sobe e bloqueia. Quase o toque, quase a rodada. Eric Almirola para primeiro lugar. Ao menos por enquanto. E já deve ter batido lá atrás. Quase tivemos, o pessoal está segurando. Algumas latarias raspando os pneus. Podemos ter pneu furado daqui a pouco, hein? Mas por enquanto, ninguém rodando. Seguimos em bandeira verde. 4 voltas para o final. Kurt Busch consegue uma grande liderança, mas já já o pessoal vai chegar nele de novo. Cuidado com o bloqueio nessa hora. Olha ali, ó, para-choque do Blenny até já amassou com aquele toque. Pode piorar a aerodinâmica, mas por enquanto parece que tá tudo bem. Olha o bloqueio. Não deu. Blenny para a liderança e vai puxar com ele o Denny Hamlin.
And DiBenedetto on the outside getting a shove from Brendan Gaughan in the 62.
Gol de Benedetto. Terceiro e quarto por fora, olha isso. E agora o Kurt Busch esticou muito a linha de dentro. Almirola ficou para trás. Gol de Benedetto vão vir para cima. Denny Hamlin ajudando o Blenny, mas também só esperando a oportunidade. E a de fora começa a ganhar muita potência, muita força. Vamos ver se eles vão conseguir contra-atacar. Parece que sim. Não vai ter freio indiano até o final. Bloqueio! Quase roda. Nossa, que briga! Quase que o filo de fora bate de novo. Agora a linha de dentro está muito mais forte. Denny Hamlin e Kurt Busch. Finalmente a linha de fora se conecta novamente. Agora Denny Hamlin lá na frente. E dizem que ele é um dos pilotos mais difíceis de ultrapassar quando está na frente. Mais provável, do jeito que tá difícil de bloquear aqui, tá precisando ser agressivo, provavelmente ele vai acabar rodando. Não, Kurt Busch acaba rodando. E o Big One. Martin Truex também bate. Stenhouse e Bowman.
Stenhouse, a bunch of DiBenedetto all torn up.
Logano parece que ainda tá inteiro. Denny Hamlin também. E cadê o Ryan Blaney?
We keep seeing these big runs coming, and with so much momentum, it's so hard to block that. But that's what you have to do to keep the lead if you're going to win this race.
Kurt Busch turned around.
Quero ver cadê o Menard Almirola.
Looking for the white flag.
Did we see this coming? I think so.
Stenhouse.
Brendan Gaughan.
Aí o acidente que ele estava esperando acontecer, quando parecia que não ia dar. Ao menos na entrada da curva 1 não é normal acontecer. Daí bate forte. Que pena de Benedetto não consegue chegar lá na frente. Ia ser bom para a equipe. Aí repente da confusão toda. É, o Blaney chega no Kurt Busch e daí tem outro carro empurrando o Blaney. Esse que é o problema. É um carro empurrando o outro. Que está empurrando o outro. A maioria dos acidentes foi assim que começou. O Blaney pôde controlar, mas aí vinha logo atrás, um outro logo atrás do Blaney. Daí jogou ele para cima do Busch. Primeira vez com esse pacote que eles estão correndo, o primeiro, contando o Clash, desde o Clash, né? O primeiro grande final de semana no festival, a primeira pista que estão correndo para valer com esse pacote. E ainda não estão antecipando direito. Que tem o cara de trás, não adianta só você frear, porque tem o cara de trás que também vai empurrar.
Pushing on that left side quarter panel of the 41. Of course, then they finally make contact.
Wadded up a bunch of race cars. Oh my goodness.
Looks as if as many as eight lead lap cars made it through unscathed. Wow. What a shower of sparks.
It's like a really bad video.
Quanta faísca.
And some of those eight, like Ryan Newman and maybe Allmendinger, do have some damage.
But those are just what about these shots?
Martin Truex believes he has a flat tire. He'll come in. Let's ride with him.
Behind you, head back now. Stay low, come down low, come low, low.
O Truex parece que tá com o pneu furado. É, mas não é só isso, né? O radiador pode estar furado também.
I was low.
Clayton Hughes was telling him all the right things to do. He just couldn't get down there on the apron to get away from him.
Come back to the back up, checking up. Come on, low on this side down there. Keep coming straight. Just go straight, they'll clear.
What about that?
That was TJ Majors for Joey Logano. That worked.
Yeah, Joey did a great job.
Yep.
So hard to get down on that apron when you're in the banking carrying that much speed. It sends you right back up into the banking.
I don't believe that 22 hit the 41.
Ainda não sei
he
quem
got right on
está
him,
exatamente
it seemed like it let him loose.
inteiro quem se envolveu na batida.
I saw 6 lead lap cars get through there without damage. That's all.
6 carros ao autolíder que sobreviveram a esse acidente. A ordem aparecendo aqui: Denny Hamlin, Almirola, Buescher, Austin Dillon e Paul Menard, os 5
Aerials
primeiros.
provided by Goodyear. Those who live up to their names make one for themselves. Goodyear, more driven.
Provavelmente devemos ter a bandeira vermelha acionada. Não sei.
He backs off to try not to make contact.
O Blaney também vai ter algum dano.
There was a big push that came from teammate Eric Almirola to the rear bumper of Kurt Busch to give him that momentum to go try to make that pass for the lead on Denny Hamlin.
Packing that air on that left rear quarter panel.
There's just a little space right there.
41 of Kurt Busch, and that's all it takes.
Such a vulnerable spot. We've seen that a couple of times. We saw it in the qualifying races.
No longer a full-time racer. Brendan Gaughan said he was here in Daytona on vacation. And there goes his shot at a top 10 finish.
Mike,
Tava perto.
Have I ever told you how cautions breed cautions? Have I ever told you that?
I believe you have. Often. And you're right.
Look at that.
Look at the carcass of that tire flailing around on Alex Bowman's car. So getting through without incident.
A carcaça ali
Denny
detona
Hamlin, Eric
muito.
Almirola, Chris
Hamlin,
Buescher,
Almirola.
Austin Dillon, Paul Menard, Darrell Wallace Jr., and, as we saw, Joey Logano. That penalty for Logano turned out to be the best thing that could have happened for him. Otherwise, he would have been right up there in the middle of it.
You're absolutely right.
He might be in the middle of it yet.
It's
ain't over yet.
No. The long day is going to get a little longer as we're going to go to NASCAR overtime. Here's Chris Myers.
Thanks, Mike. The Survival 500 continues, and we'll get back to live racing earlier with Michael Waltrip. We've had 3 separate major wrecks, the first 2 involving 7 cars here.
And look at that visor cam. That's how violent it is inside of one of these race cars when you crash, Chris, at over 200 miles an hour.
And those that were taken out early, Jimmy Johnson, Chase Elliott gets sideways, going into the wall. Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick involved in that wreck.
Another blocking incident. These guys are just doing everything they can to keep the track position. You get back in the pack, it's impossible to win. They're doing everything to block.
Ryan Blaney led 118 laps, and with 2 to go. Now, who triggered all of this? It looked like Blaney into the back of Ford teammate Kurt Busch, last year's winner.
Denny Hamlin put the perfect block on Kurt Busch. It slowed Kurt's momentum, and as Blaney approached from the rear, I think he just pushed him around with the air, spun that car around, and look at the melee that ensued.
An incredible 10 cars. We might still be counting the sparks flying. And we head now to overtime with Denny Hamlin, who has won the Daytona 500 once before. Who else are you looking at up here? Because we have had surprise winners. Right now, we have some surprise names up in that top 5. Bubba Wallace, 6th, running for Richard Petty Motorsports. He's been in the top 10 cautiously all afternoon.
Look at that 3 car. Remember earlier we mentioned him mixing up the strategy, trying to make something happen? I love what they did, and I loved how they tried to change the race for them. Now he finds himself in the top 5, so look for that 3 car to be strong on this restart.
And when Kurt Busch won the Daytona 500 last year, he only led the last lap, so we might be in for another one of those, Mike.
We could be, Chris. This new aero package, where the left rear quarter panel comes all the way down to the ground, Jeff, you don't have to touch another car to turn them around. Just pack the air against that quarter panel. We saw it a couple of times on Thursday night, and we just saw it again.
We did, and we've heard the drivers all week long talking about how out of control some of these cars are, how unstable they are. The teams have done a great job making them stick to the racetrack better so far, what we see in the Daytona 500, but that aggressive drafting and bump drafting and the air moving around the nose of these cars, especially when that spoiler's that low to the ground, can definitely easily turn them around.
So, Darrell, is anywhere safe?
No. When you block, you might get your block knocked off. And we've seen that a couple of times already. The 11 team looks like they got this thing in the bag.
They're in a good position.
Let's find out from their crew chief. Here's Jamie.
And Mike Wheeler on the box right now. It's been fun watching you during these moments, Mike. At this point, what's the ideal scenario for you on this restart?
I guess the ideal scenario is to win it. You know, get
Qual o cenário ideal para essa relargada?
Maneuver
É ganhar.
down as you need to through 1 and 2. I know Denny's trying to do some coaching with the other teams out there, and he's pretty good at it. So he's got a few shots. We've had an up and down day. Started off pretty good, and the middle was a little rough. I don't know if I'm going to sleep tonight, but definitely exciting at this point.
Biggest race in the world. I'm watching you tap your foot. What are these moments like right now?
I'm kind of enjoying this one a little bit. We're just sitting here watching now. Our job's done in here. It's up to Denny and Lambert to get the job done.
Well, they won it together back in 2016, their first race together, trying to make it 2 here.
Thanks, Jamie. Bubba Wallace in his first 500 for Richard Petty, who as a driver has won this race 7 times. His dad won the first one. Pete Hamilton won it for the Pettys in 1970. And look at that pre-race tweet from Formula One champ Lewis Hamilton. Cheering Bubba Wallace on today.
Wow, he's gotten some incredible messages today, and this kid has done a great job today. I have to admit, Mike, he exceeded my expectations. Not running these 500-mile races, kind of getting used to this team and this car. He's been extraordinary.
Excelente.
Chris Buescher has 1 win in the Monster Energy Series, driving for the expanded JTG Doherty team with a new alliance this year.
Yeah, they have an alliance, technical alliance, not engines. Engines are at ECR still, but the technical alliance with Hendrick Motorsports. And Chris Buescher, he is quiet, so we don't talk about him a lot, but he is an amazing race car driver.
I agree.
And I wouldn't count him out.
No, he's a good driver, really good.
Trent Owens is crew chief. As we get set for NASCAR overtime, we'll remind you it's the Big East Wednesday night jam on FS1. First, Xavier takes on Georgetown at 6:30 Eastern. Then DePaul battles Jalen Brunson and Villanova. That's Wednesday on FS1. Or stream it live on Fox Sports Go. There is a NASCAR connection there. Brendan Gaughan played basketball at Georgetown.
He got bounced around like one up there just a minute ago.
Here are the rules for NASCAR overtime revised this year. It's a green, then white, then checkered flag race.
Regras do overtime, tem que completar uma volta em bandeira verde.
While the track is
Daí,
green, then the next flag, caution or checker, would end the race. If
So
we
sempre-
have another caution prior to the white flag, we will try it again and again as necessary.
basicamente, 2 voltas de corrida. Tem que completar pelo menos uma em bandeira verde. Se sair bandeira amarela antes disso, tenta de novo depois de limpar a pista. Se seguir em bandeira verde por uma volta e só depois sair a amarela, daí acaba a corrida ali. Se completar as 2 voltas, também acaba daí pela chegada da bandeira quadriculada.
It's easy to give the edge to Denny Hamlin. He's won a Daytona 500, so good on the restrictor plates, but I'm telling you,
Tentativas
anybody in those top
ilimitadas.
6-8 positions can get this thing done if they work together.
Quantas a gente vai ter?
Released at the care
Façam
center.
suas
Here's his
apostas.
teammate Eric Almirola's radio.
Quantos vão sobrar na volta do líder?
We've made it this far, bud. We're going for. Yeah, just figure out how you can be leading at the white. That way, when they crash, we win it. You know, that's all I know.
Crew Chief Johnny Klausmeyer and spotter Joel Edmonds advising Eric Almirola from Tampa, Florida.
Hard to argue against that advice with the way this race has gone today.
That's good strategy. I like it.
They'll see the green flag and then hopefully the white and then the checker to end the 60th Daytona 500. It's overtime.
Vamos pro overtime, tentativa número 1.
The aggression's about to step up a whole nother notch.
Green flag.
Bandeira verde.
Boy, Almirola's right there with Denny Hamlin on this
Almirola e
restart. That's
Hamlin.
Huge.
Toyota and Ford up front. Chevys in row 2, Buescher and Dillon.
Dois Chevys em segundo, na segunda fila, Toyota e Ford na frente.
Tell you that 10 car.
Almirola saindo forte da primeira curva.
We don't know how good some of these guys are because we haven't seen them up front all day. And here we got a shot.
Mais bloqueios lá atrás, com isso Hamlin perde a sua ajuda. Dispara na frente Almirola.
Eric Almirola, who had a bad crash, Kansas last year, missed 6 races. That's when Bubba Wallace got his chance to drive the 43. Almirola moved on at the end of the season to Stewart Haas
Logano vindo ali,
and he is a lap
empurrando
away
Bubba Wallace.
from the checkered flag.
Bandeira branca. Última volta da corrida, oficialmente agora. Garantido. Austin Dillon tá vindo forte por fora.
It's going to be a big push coming on the top lane.
Olha que o Trizana vai ganhar 20 anos da primeira vitória e única do Dayyytonaaaa nas 500.
Gonna have to be quick. Gonna have to be quick.
Almirola up to cover. Dillon, where will he
Almirola
go?
bloqueando. E vai pro muro.
Around he goes. And here it
Bandeira verde, ainda
with
temos
the number
bandeira verde.
20 years ago. 20 years
Será?
ago for Earnhardt.
Olha que
He
sim.
won the Daytona 500.
E o número 3 vai ganhar. Tô feliz pelo número 3. Austin Dillon não é um dos pilotos que eu menos gosto aqui da categoria, mas tudo bem. O Richard Childress eu também tô feliz. E principalmente o número 3.
I love it.
98, 2001, 2004. Muitos números. Para quem gosta de numerologia, tem alguma coisa sobrenatural acontecendo.
Austin Dillon's mom is Richard Childress's daughter.
Wow.
E foi vitória do Austin Dillon.
Gave his son the nickname
Bubba
the
Wallace
Ace.
em segundo.
His logo is an ace of spades.
Hamilton chega no top 5. Buescher em quinto. É, e o Almirola quase foi uma boa aposta. Parece que tá chegando ainda. Chegou em 11º ali.
Getting screamed at it by his mom for climbing on the trophy in victory lane.
Yeah,
Nobody will scream if he climbs it tonight.
What amazing confidence.
He won at Charlotte in May. A very emotional victory for the whole Childress family. Returning the number 3 to victory lane, and he just did a slide to replicate what Dale did when he won it in the 3 20 years ago. How fitting, how special.
Well, you're going to see a lot of emotion out of this young man for this win. That's huge for this family and for RCR.
Such an anniversary.
Austin Dillon has just won the first race of the 2018 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series.
Well, we haven't seen Austin Dillon go to victory lane a lot, but when he does, they're big races.
He does some nice burnouts.
February 18th, 2007.
Comemorando muito Austin Dillon.
In the Daytona 500. February 18th, 2018. Austin Dillon wins for RCR. Andy Petrie, new VP of competition for RCR with the headset on, congratulating everybody.
That's Justin Alexander, crew chief.
There's the ace. Taking home the checkered flag tonight, Austin Dillon, with today's Sunoco fueling victory.
He burned her down, boys. Oh, this is amazing. Amazing.
got that shit, boy. Come on. Come out there. Love you. Tell you now to get this off, you get that off. Where's your glove?
See that AD in the shape of the ace of spades. Austin Dillon's logo.
That's his dad right there, Mike.
Na pista, eu acho.
Oh, he's taking a breath. Shades of the legendary Big E, Dale Earnhardt, going through the grass. 20 years ago this week, you were in victory lane as a 7-year-old, and you saw how much this race meant to Dale and your grandfather. What does it mean to you to join that exclusive club?
I don't know right now. I just want to thank the good Lord above. I mean, I did what I had to do at the end. I hate it for the 10 guys. We just had a run, and I stayed in the gas. It's what it is here at Daytona. But it is so awesome to take the 3 car back to victory lane 20 years ago. This one's for Dale Earnhardt Sr. and all those senior fans. I love you guys. We're going to keep kicking butt the rest of the year.
He had a lucky penny in the car. Anything special in this 3?
I had a fan. Actually, he had no favorite driver, and I told him, I said, I'll give you my hat if I'm your favorite driver. Well, I gave him the hat. The next day, he saw me in the infield and said, here's a lucky penny. I found heads up. And I said, man, we got to put that in the car. Put it in the car, and we're here in victory lane.
What were you thinking on the last restart, building toward the finish?
I knew we were in a good spot, and the 43, I got to thank him, Darrell Wallace. He did a great job. Finishing 1-2 with ECR engines. What a day. Thanks, Darrell, for that push, and had to make it happen at the end.
You could hear the emotion in your grandfather's voice congratulating you. You know how much this race in this place means to him, and this gift tonight for you.
I said that my first win was, I couldn't beat it, and this does. I mean, my grandfather has done everything for me, and everybody knows it. You know, there's a lot of pressure on me to perform because I've had a little bit of everything, but I like that pressure. And the same with the number 3. There's a lot of pressure behind it, but I'm willing to take it and go with it. And just thankful for everyone that supported us along the way. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and his family for letting us bring this number back out. And man, it comes full circle, and just can't thank the Lord enough for this opportunity. This is crazy. Hey, only 2 duels left.
É, só em homenagem ao Dale Earnhardt pra curtir uma vitória jogando outro carro pra fora da pista na cara dura assim. Vale a pena, tomara que o Almirola tenha essa redenção em outra prova.
Now his trademark move is this after a win. It's not always pretty, but it's all his.
1, 2, 3.
Aí a assinatura dele da vitória. Tá bom.
And he's joined by the whole RCR team.
You are the man, brother. Thank you.
For the 2nd year in a row, the Daytona 500 winner leads only the final lap. So let's take a look at today's 5-hour energy extra strength.
Segundo ano seguido que o vencedor lidera só a última volta.
The back bumper of the 3 gives him a big push. The 10 gets stalled out a little bit here. The 3 goes down low. Now he goes to the high side. They hook bumpers. Turns Eric Almirola outside wall, and the 3 goes on.
And Bubba Wallace to the outside finishes his first Daytona 500 in 2nd place.
Parabéns pro Bubba Wallace chegando em segundo. Ai, olha a briga com o Hamlin ali. Uma pena que aquela não foi a chegada. Ia ser bem mais emocionante a chegada ao menos.
Champion of the Daytona 500. Regan?
2016 Daytona 500 champion, Denny Hamlin. You came oh so close, and I saw you watching the monitor just there. A little bit of disappointment. How was your day?
Yeah, definitely disappointed leading on the last restart, but just, I mean, it's a 50-50 shot. It's about what line can stay organized the best, and I had the 37 committed to my rear bumper, which was great. He just, we couldn't get the 21 to buy in, and it's whatever line, it's really about the third car in line. If whoever that third car in line is closest to, that line goes, and we just
depende
didn't have
muito
a
do
line to win,
terceiro
but,
carro na linha.
congrats to Austin.
Interessante,
Really
não o
happy for,
segundo nem o primeiro, mas o
Austin
terceiro
and, his whole
carro.
team, and these guys work really hard, and proud of our whole FedEx Camry team for giving me a car that we were able to battle back, get on the lead lap there, and give ourselves a chance at the end.
It was a battle all day long for Denny Hamlin. He comes home in third place. Mike?
What a great recovery for Hamlin. And just look at that, just the way Hamlin beat Martin Truex by inches to win the 500 2 years ago.
Olha a briga dos
Darrell
dois.
Wallace beats Hamlin by...
De novo, Hamlin perdendo na chegada.
Numbers 3, 43, and 11.
Ah, não, outra vez foi ele que ganhou.
Lots more to come from Daytona, where Austin Dillon has won the 60th Daytona 500.
E eu vou ficando por aí daqui a pouquinho. Vai ter corrida da Truck Series, mas só 9h15. Igual tem que dar um break antes dessa prova. Mas mais 10 minutos de cobertura ainda.
Win a once-in-a-lifetime trip to next year's Daytona 500 in Orlando.
Ainda baixando o car set aqui. Ainda bem que eu testei. Achei que tinha tudo instalado, mas o car set não estava instalado e estava lento o download agora domingo à noite. E no final perdi meu Fantasy por um pontinho, 178 a 177. Vou mostrar aqui. Cadê? Stream Live. Cena 4. Aí. Por um ponto. Depois da última batida, o Almirola acabou chegando lá para trás. Se tivesse chegado em segundo, estava disparado ali na frente. Mas está valendo. Tá muito bom. Eles vão voltar? Realmente sim. Vamos ver. Dá uma chance.
Next Saturday night, it's an Original Six battle between Boston and Toronto. And Sunday night at 11 p.m, St. Louis collide with Nashville.
Victor Arvidsson with a beautiful goal.
Live NHL next weekend on Premier Sports.
Austin Dillon, the 9th different winner in the last 9 Daytona 500s and the 4th straight first-time Daytona 500 winner. There he is, a 40-1 long shot in Las Vegas. Austin Dillon celebrating in victory lane, and our Michael Waltrip is down there.
Richard Childress, this is an amazing event, an amazing day. How much does this mean to you right now?
I just, the emotions just flowing to be able to win with a 3-car, have it in winner's circle with my grandson 20 years after Dale won in '98. So special, and I can't thank the fans enough for supporting us for this, and the Earnhardt family.
I love you, brother. Whitney, congratulations, sister.
Thank you so much. It's amazing.
What's that mean to everybody? Austin, unbelievable. Congratulations, friend.
Thanks, Mikey. Man, I want to say something about my awesome sponsor, Dow. They've been with me since the beginning of my Cup career, and we just brought them home a win that they'll never forget. So, very thankful for that. And Whitney, before the race started, she talked to me. We were praying. She said, "This one isn't going to be pretty. I don't feel like you're going to lead much of it, but we're going to win it when it matters, last lap." I was like, "Sure, I'll take it any way we can get it." And she called me before the race, so I gotta thank my wife for the shout out right there.
Tell me about that move.
Well, Bubba gave me a heck of a push down the backstretch, and I went low, 43 went up, and I just had more momentum when he was trying to block me, and it turned him. So, hate that for him, but it's the Daytona 500. He's gonna do the same thing to me in that position. So, man, we just won the Harley J. Earl.
This race is life-changing. It's career-defining. Congratulations.
Thanks, Michael. It's a heck of a race, and I gotta thank everybody at Daytona at the Speedway. They put on a great show, and it's awesome. Thank you, Johnny Morris. Thanks for all the support.
What a scene it is down here. So much fun seeing all the smiles on the faces, Chris.
All right, thank you, Brett Doers of NASCAR. Austin Dillon's wife, by the way, Whitney, they were just married last December. As she is celebrating, there will be some question, controversy, and you heard him reference the 10-car earlier, having to push Almirola out of the way and into the wall as he went into victory lane. Bubba Wallace in a Chevy wound up second, and Vince Welch is standing by with him.
Well, and you heard Austin Dillon thank Bubba for that push that he needed to get to the front, but so close in your first full-time ride for Richard Petty in the 43 to finish second at the Daytona 500.
Yeah, I got so many emotions going right now. Congrats to Austin. RCR Alliance 1-2, that's pretty good. I want to see the replay before I say anything stupid, but he might need to take some off for that one. All in all, a great day for our Click and Close Chevrolet Camaro Z01 team. Just an incredible experience for me to be able to be here for my first.
What are you seeing here?
He says I cut his tire down. Looks like the same movie he pulled on Blaney at Martinsville, but hey, we edged him out, we beat him, so it's all good. But hey, we're Daytona 500, and put that aside. My nerves are shot up right now. The King comes in all mad at me and says, "After all I've told you, what was the first rule that I told you to do?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I lost my breath." And he says, "Don't wreck the car." And so thank you to the King for keeping me young, keeping him young as well. But thank you to the King as well for giving me this opportunity, putting them second place, putting Click and Close in second place. We know how much stress this team has been through in the last 3 or 4 months just trying to get this program together. So for me to come out here and this hectic 3 months I've had with the Facebook series, Behind the Wall and Bubba Wallace, check it out. Hell of an ending for us tonight. But P2 for my first Daytona 500, I'll take it.
Chris?
All right, well, a candid rookie, Darrell Wallace, as Austin Dillon celebrates Richard Childress, his grandfather. You heard him mention 20 years ago this week. Dale Earnhardt, 11 years ago today. Kevin Harvick, who took over for the late Dale Earnhardt, won here at Daytona for Richard Childress Racing.
Então tá. Vamos ficando por aí. Agora troca para o canal Kepler Gamer BR. Eu vou anunciar naquela página que eu vou ter na descrição. Para a corrida da Truck Series da NASCAR Brasil. Já está engatilhada aqui. Em breve. 9h15 vai ser o Qualify, largado então 9h25 aproximadamente. Até daqui a pouco.